Hello and welcome to another live episode of the Alex Nitzberg Show. I'm Alex Nitzberg and today I'm going to be talking about Trump versus DeSantis because you guys know that probably that DeSantis is poised to enter the presidential race, but I'm going to specifically focus on the issue of abortion. Mostly stuff Donald Trump was saying this week, a little bit of back and forth, but really it was mostly the stuff Trump was saying about abortion. Also, I'm going to show you a ridiculous exchange between a Texas state lawmaker, a Democrat, and another Texas state lawmaker who's a Republican, where the Republican asks that question that seems to, stump some people that are into radical leftist gender ideology. What is a woman? And the guy's answer is basically a woman is someone who tells me they're a woman, which obviously is a circular sort of answer that doesn't make any sense and uses the word woman to define the word woman. So that's kind of funny. I'm going to show you that. Also, that I'm gonna mention, and I guess I'll just say it now. I have a thing, but anyway, Tim Scott, senator from South Carolina, he has gone ahead and filed to run for president, so he's also getting the race. But let me go ahead and get into this abortion stuff. Thank you guys for. Let me switch over my camera here. Thank you for watching, and please give it a thumbs up if you've been enjoying these shows. I've been doing them on Saturdays at 3:30, so there'll be another one next week at 3:30 as well. And yeah, if you've been enjoying them, please give me a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and please do that. All right, so this abortion thing. So earlier this year, in April, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, and I'm a Florida resident, so my governor here, DeSantis, he signed this measure. It's like a 6-week abortion ban. Now, it actually has a number of exceptions, so it's not as strong as it sounds at first. But let me go over here. If you look at it, it basically says that a physician may not knowingly perform or induce termination of a pregnancy if the physician determines that the gestational age of the fetus is more than 6 weeks. But then it says unless one of the following conditions is met, and there's like a bunch of carve-outs so that it's not really a strict 6-week abortion ban. They allow an exception if basically it's determined that it's necessary to save the pregnant woman's life or avert serious risk of substantial and irreversible physical impairment of a major bodily function of the pregnant woman other than psychological condition. They also have carve-outs here for, what is it here? It says, if the pregnancy has not progressed to the 3rd trimester, and 2 physicians certify in writing that in reasonable medical judgment the fetus has a fatal fetal abnormality. Also, if the pregnancy is a result of rape, incest, or human trafficking, and it's the baby is not more than 15 weeks old, then that also basically is another exception to allow for abortion. So the 6 weeks has several exceptions, but that's basically what this measure is. And I believe it has not gone into effect yet. I think there might be some sort of thing with the Florida Supreme Court and maybe like a 15-week ban or something, and they have to rule on that. And anyway, but I think that based on what I looked at yesterday, I think it was saying that they have to rule on this 15-week ban, and then in order for this one to even go into effect or something like that, for this 6-week one to go into effect. But that's what's passed. So, and to my understanding, it's not in effect yet. But anyway, that's what the legislature passed and DeSantis signed. But here comes Trump. This website, The Messenger, I don't believe I'd ever heard of them until this week. But they apparently interviewed Trump, and they said DeSantis signed a 6-week abortion restriction in Florida. Do you think he was right to do that? Straightforward question. If you're running for president, that should be a clear-cut yes or no answer. And Trump said, well, he has to do what he has to do. If you look at what DeSantis did, a lot of people don't even know if he knew what he was doing, but he signed 6 weeks, and many people within the pro-life movement feel that was too harsh. Let me stop there. If you think a 6-week abortion ban is too harsh, are you really a pro-lifer? Like, are you part of the pro-life movement? I mean, I guess you could favor like a 12-week or 15-week or whatever, but you're not seriously pro-life if you're rejecting a 6-week abortion ban. So, but then, so the messenger people said, what do you think? Is it too harsh for you? And Trump said, I'm looking at all alternatives. I'm looking at many alternatives, but I was able to get us to the table by terminating Roe versus Wade. That's the most important thing that's ever happened for the pro-life movement. And that's that's a valid point. Trump appointed several Supreme Court justices, and then now, the 9-member Supreme Court, overturned Roe versus Wade. And that's good. I mean, that was a huge step forward for the pro-life movement. But yet you notice that he's not really answering, like, what exactly would he support, like, week-wise? And he says, so the messenger people, would you sign a 6-week abortion ban or not? And he just says, I'm looking at all, and they put options in brackets. So he's just basically saying he's looking at all of them. So all the options. So he doesn't really answer the question. So DeSantis comes back with this. He basically kind of is answering, responding to what Trump said here. Let me play that.
Protecting an unborn child when there's the detectable heartbeat is something that almost probably 99% of pro-lifers support. It's something that other states like Iowa under Governor Kim Reynolds have enacted. And I think that as a Florida resident, he didn't give an answer about would you have signed the heartbeat bill that Florida did. That had all the exceptions that people talk about. The legislature put it in. I signed the bill. I was proud to do it. He won't answer whether he would sign it or not.
So, yeah, I mean, he's using that against Trump because Trump is not answering that. He wasn't answering the question. So over here on Truth Social, Trump tweeted and said, after 50 years of failure, with nobody coming even close, I was able to kill Roe versus Wade, much to the shock of everyone, and for the first time put the pro-life movement in a strong negotiating position over the radicals that are willing to kill babies even into their 9th month and beyond. Without me, there would be no 6 weeks, 10 weeks, there would be no 6 weeks, 10 weeks, 15 weeks, or whatever is finally agreed to. Without me, the pro-life movement would have just kept losing. Thank you, President Trump. Now, I mean, it's a valid point. Like, yeah, the removal of Roe versus Wade is a huge step forward. It enabled states to basically, take control of the issue and enact, whatever bans they want to enact without without the Roe versus Wade restriction in place. So that's important and it's good. And yeah, he should have credit for appointing those justices or whatever. But like that doesn't remove the need for him to stake out his position now on what sort of ban he would support if he was president, what he would advocate for. He should tell us, like, what does he want to do. So you notice also that President Joe Biden, or whoever's running his Twitter account, seized on this truth, I want to say tweet, the truth from Donald Trump over on Truth Social, the post that he made. And they're like, that's about as clear as it gets. Donald Trump and MAGA Republicans are responsible for killing Roe versus Wade, and if you vote for them, they'll go even further. I mean, I think that's supposed to be an attack, but actually, yeah, it's kind of true. I mean, yeah, we wanted to kill Roe versus Wade. Republicans, conservatives killed it, by Trump appointing those people. And yeah, I mean, conservatives want to go further. So I guess it's an attack, but it's actually, in this case, I would say that it's accurate, sort of, in the sense that the conservative grassroots base wants to go further. The sort of swampy Republican rhino party that we actually have, maybe not. I mean, that we might not actually get anywhere with them. But like, yeah, people like you and me, conservative people want an abortion ban at the federal level. So, but anyway, so, and then here we have, that's DeSantis, but it's actually Trump talking on Newsmax, and Trump is getting interviewed. And the guy on Newsmax asked him, Rob Schmidt, he asked him about this issue. And let me just go ahead and play you what happened there.
He's also banned abortions after 6 weeks in the state of Florida. He's criticized you for not taking a stand on which abortion restrictions that you would support. I want to ask your response to his allegation on this. And I want to ask also, do you think that 6 weeks is going too far? Is that going to doom Republicans with the moderates in this country when it comes to 2024?
Well, Rob, first of all, I'm the one that got rid of Roe v. Wade, and everybody said that was an impossible thing to do. I put on 3 Supreme Court justices. Very few people have had that privilege or honor, and they are terrific people, and they happen to believe that Roe v. Wade should not be there. It's been now brought back to the states. And what I've done is I've given the pro-life people, who are wonderful people and loving people, I've given them the power of negotiation, because now they're able to negotiate something that's going to be very important. And I put them in a position. Now, DeSantis, or Ron DeSanctimonious, as I call him, he came out with the 6 weeks. Other people agree with it, and a lot of people don't. We're in a position now, and I'm going to be leading the charge. We're in a position now where we can get something that the whole country can agree with. And that's only because I got us out of the Roe v. Wade, where the pro-life people had absolutely nothing to say. And if you talk about radical, the radical are the people that want to kill the baby literally after birth. If you look at what took place in Virginia with the previous governor, the former governor of Virginia.
All right, I'm just gonna stop it there. So yeah, he's not answering specifically weeks wise. What he's basically saying is he helped get rid of Roe versus Wade, which puts Republicans, pro-lifers in a position to negotiate what they're going to do next. But he's not really coming down on a specific policy, 6 weeks, 12 weeks, complete ban, whatever. He's not coming up with exactly what he would support. He said we're going to come up with something everybody basically in the country can support. So that's that. And then so let me just move on to this more the race specifically. It looks like DeSantis is going to be filing for his presidential bid in this next week coming up here. So I mean, it's been a long time coming. Everybody's been expecting him to get in. So it looks like he's finally going to file and get in this week coming up here. So also I want to mention, this is interesting. The New York Times quoted DeSantis apparently on some kind of phone call. And he was quoted saying, "You have basically three people at this point that are credible in this whole thing." And he said, "Biden, Trump, and me. And I think of those three, two have a chance to get elected president, Biden and me, based on all the data in the swing states, which is not great for the former president and probably insurmountable because people aren't going to change their view of him." So there he is being quoted basically saying that he thinks that he can defeat Biden and that Trump won't be able to. And then here's Trump on Truth Social saying that after campaigning for 5 months and going nowhere but down, it looks like Ron DeSanctimonious will soon be entering the race. He has zero chance and MAGA will never forget. So that's what he has to say about that. Also, I mentioned South Carolina Senator Tim Scott has filed, and I believe on Monday he's going to be announcing his presidential bid. Here's his screenshot of his filing with FEC. So the field has gotten pretty large here. I mean, we've got, what do we got? Vivek Ramaswamy, Nikki Haley. We have Tim Scott now and DeSantis, assuming they're, once they're both officially in. And we've got, who am I missing? Well, obviously Trump, obviously. And is there someone else? I might be missing somebody, or that might be it. But anyway, a number of candidates, most of whom I say have no chance. When you look at the polls, which I have over here, you can see that Trump is basically way, way out in front. Of course, it's really a state-to-state election. It's not like there's like a national Republican vote where everybody just votes. But when you look at these polls, Trump is creaming everybody. Of course, DeSantis hadn't technically gotten in yet. He's in second place, and he's creaming everybody too, in the sense that Trump is creaming DeSantis, DeSantis is creaming everybody else who's underneath of him, and basically none of them are doing well at all. Pence is somebody who might get in. He still hasn't announced yet, but he's made it sound like he was definitely thinking about it. And, I don't really think he will do well either. But, Asa Hutchinson, I forgot to mention him when I was talking about people. Yeah, he's former Arkansas governor. No way. Got no chance. Chris Christie. Oh, Larry Elder. Yeah, Larry Elder announced that he was in too. I forgot to mention him. Chris Christie is apparently maybe going to be getting in too. I saw articles make it sound like he might be getting in. Former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie. So anyway, yeah, right now on the polls, Trump is winning. But we'll see what happens with that. All right, so what I told you I was going to let you watch earlier. This is this ridiculous exchange about radical leftist gender ideology, where this Republican state lawmaker, a Republican House member in the state House in Texas, he asks, "What is a woman?" And this Democrat just stands there with a straight face and tells him that a woman is someone who he basically said, a woman is someone who tells me that they're a woman. So let me show you that totally absurd exchange here.
What is a woman?
I'm sorry, what is your question?
What is a woman?
What part of this bill are you referring to with this question?
I'm asking you to answer the definitive nature of your statement. You've asserted from the front mic multiple times.
When a woman tells me they're a woman, I know they're a woman because I trust them to give me that answer.
So can you define a woman?
I just did. When they tell me they're a woman, then they're a woman. It's not for me.
Can you define that?
I just did. That's my answer to you.
Mr. Busey, can you define it without using the word? Because for you to say a woman is a woman is not a definition. I'm asking you to define the term without using the word.
I
because
trust
if we're in
you to
positions
tell
of
me what gender you are, and I trust everybody on this floor to tell me what gender they are, or to not tell me, because it's none of my business.
Okay, so if I just decide...
All right, so I'll stop it there. But yeah, so this guy, the Republican who was asking the questions, his name is Schaefer, and Busey is the Democrat who was saying that he thinks that a woman is someone who tells them they're a woman. So I thought that guy did a good job, especially when he pointed out the absurdity of basically saying a woman is a woman. It's like, yeah, that's not a definition. It's just very circular reasoning. But I thought that was pretty funny. That was something I wrote about this week. Also, I'll just quickly mention this as well. So there's this bill backed by some Republicans that would basically prohibit performing gender transitions on minors. Obviously a common sense measure that should pass 100% with, bipartisan in both chambers of Congress. Everybody should vote for this. Why would you not vote for this? Of course, Democrats won't vote for it, but of course it probably won't even come up for a vote, actually. But let me just show you here. And I'll also mention, I think versions of this have come up, been put forward in the past and basically gone nowhere. But if you look at it, I mean, how are people not supportive of this? This is so dumb that we have this argument in this country. Any physical or mental health care professional who knowingly performs or provides a referral for any gender transition procedure on a minor, we're talking about minors here, shall be fined under this title, imprisoned not more than 5 years, or both. So, I mean, how did this become a cultural chasm where people are arguing about whether or not people that are minors should be allowed to, get puberty blockers, get, the gender transition surgery or whatever, mastectomy, whatever. This is ridiculous. So yeah, this bill has been put forward. It's there. It probably won't come up for a vote. If it does, it won't pass. If it passed by some miracle, Biden would veto it. I mean, it's just ridiculous because Democrats support the radical leftist gender ideology, but I just thought I would mention that. So that's it for today. If anybody has any questions or comments, you can go ahead and leave them in the comments section. But otherwise, I will invite you to please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already on YouTube. Also, you can subscribe to me on Rumble if you would like as well. And also, if you haven't done so yet, please follow me on Twitter. And so thank you guys for watching this episode. If you enjoyed it, I will be back next Saturday at 3:30 for another episode live. And sometimes I also post stuff in the middle of the week as well, so you can always check and see if there's anything else going on there. But thank you all for watching. And thank you if you gave me a thumbs up. I saw a few thumbs up there, so thank you for that. And have a great weekend, and I will see you either next week or before if I post something before that. Bye-bye.